Passing the BX. Drop.
I want to share my reflections about preserving people, encouraging people to grow, and the brutal reality of managing a business where you have to be somewhat ruthless with what's right for the business. Um, there's two people working in my crew, and one of them is not quite delivering professionally what I need from him. There's constant mistakes, things have to be redone, and there's a certain lack of taking responsibility for it. There's an inability to admit that there's room for growth there, and it's a mixed bag because this gentleman is actually, I appreciate him quite a bit, and I like him. He's a hard worker. He comes from a background that's not very easy. Um, some would say that he's from a disadvantaged race in the United States. I have mixed feelings about that, but it's definitely out there. I would definitely concur that I think the culture that he's immersed in is not contributing to his success. Um, and that's definitely a lot. And I appreciate um, how hard he tries and his sincerity in trying to do a good job. Trouble is, professionally, he's just not delivering right now what I need him to do. Like, there needs to be a lot of babying of him to make sure that, in the end of the day, boxes are wired like they should be. And it's just not on a level that's really acceptable. And I want to try and help him grow from there, but I'm a bit at a loss. I feel I would have felt more comfortable with it if he would have been able to admit this failing. But there's something that resists acknowledging of, yeah, I actually don't know very well how to wire shit. I can, chase walls, I can connect conduit, I can bend it reasonably well, I can do a lot of mechanical work, but actual wiring, I really have to work on this. If that was the attitude, I feel I would have felt much more comfortable. But since it's not, and there's a little bit of an attitude problem there with submitting to the um, authority of his foreman, that just makes me thoughtful about it. It you want I don't know about everybody, but I want my people to succeed. I feel like if they're honest and sincere and hardworking, I want them to succeed. I want to raise their salaries. I want to cultivate them because our conscientiousness is not as common as one would like, and I appreciate that. And yet, I also have to decide of the ultimate benefit of the business. I have customers to serve, and they expect a certain level, and that demands a certain level of professionalism from my people, and I have to be able to provide that. Um, I've consulted with different people, and I've had different input. One direction is um, especially regarding like the attitude problem with when the foreman calls him out and asks him to fix things he didn't do or didn't do right. I just send him home for 2 days to think about it, so to speak. I don't really like that. It feels to me too much like playing with a guy. No, I don't like it. I feel like if you're in a relationship of employee and employer, then you don't mess with it that way. You either we're doing this or we're not. Another suggestion that I heard was tell him that he's on a 2 month trial in which he needs to prove himself professionally. And he'll be fired at the end of the 2 months if he doesn't deliver. I like that it's actually painting the reality. It's actually quite honest, which is usually my inclination, to be honest, because ultimately he is in trial. He's not delivering, and if he continues to not deliver, not improve, um, I won't be able to retain him. It just won't be right for the business. Trouble with it is that you need to strike a balance between demanding a person grow or step off the plate and thinking about the different motivations that you give them, because I don't really like putting it in these terms, but basically there's a whip and there's a carrot. There's like encouraging somebody to grow and there's scaring somebody from the results of, there's like enticing him with the rewards of growth and there's scaring him with the consequences of lack of growth. I think that's the right way to put it. And I'm kind of concerned it would be too much of a soul crusher. I had this insight a couple hours ago that maybe the way to do it is to first be upfront about the fact that he is on trial and he will lose his job in 60 days if he doesn't deliver what I want him professionally. But then to give him upfront a pay upgrade that he's been expecting. I tried to put him in a offer to raise his pay if he closes 20 boxes properly and if they're examined and they're 100% correct. And it's just, I feel it's a bit vague. Like, the idea is right. Like, learn, improve so you're actually worth more money, but I feel like it has to come from him, the desire to improve. He has to be more serious about really owning his work. I feel like if I offer it to him ahead of time, it communicates the fact that I want to pay him more, and coupled with the clarification that he's going to lose his job in 60 days, I feel it communicates the fact that he has to improve or I can't retain him. And that's where I am right now. I'll consult with another, at least one more person whose opinion about this I value, but I feel that's the best way because it's really, it communicates clearly, I think, where I am. I respect this person as a human being, as a worker. I think he has unfulfilled potential, but I think he's not applying himself, and I think his attitude is getting in his way. And I know I can't keep him if this is what he keeps on bringing to the table. So it's saying, I want to pay you more. Here, have it, even though you haven't deserved it. You're going to lose your job in 60 days if you don't deliver. But this is where you'll be in 60 days, and I'm giving it to you ahead of time, even though I don't think you're worth it just yet because I want to pay this to you. But now you have to earn it or you'll lose your job. I feel it strikes a good balance between being harsh, honest, and both whip and carrot again. Scared of the consequences of not stepping up and enticed by the rewards of stepping up. We'll see. It's all about a big adventure. Alright, but this gotta go to here. Make another one over here. And you gotta be easy with it. You start here, right? And then you're gonna have the beam here. So at the end, you're probably gonna do with your knife or something. See what I'm saying?